Good evening, my friends. Actually, it's night, 10:33, but well, good evening, good night. Good night is usually said to say an end of a conversation, but good night, my friends. Let the night begin. So I am conducting. Basically, I am doing an annotation, which is a complicated term to just say that I am marking things. I'm labeling things, basically sentences. I'm labeling reviews as constructive or unconstructive, uh, non-constructive. Yeah. Okay. Let me begin from the very beginning. I am Priyanshu Shuno, and today I am going to label sentences as constructive with a C or non-constructive with a N. And these sentences are basically reviews to research papers which have been extracted from a website named shitmyreviewerssay.com, which is a really cool name. So let me begin. The first review is simply conducting the same analysis in a different data set does not equate novelty or impact to the field. Okay, okay, so, so is this constructive? I'm confused. Like, yeah, it does not, but what? How does? How would it make the paper novel? Like, what else would make the paper novel? You must say it, dear reviewer. Now, the next review. Are the 10 random reps chosen at random? I don't know. I mean, it's a valid doubt, but maybe it must be, but that's not constructive. Sorry. So, the third one. The authors need to add a level of puzzlement to their interpretations. Indeed, that is constructive. Thank you. We will add a level of puzzlement. Indeed. Now, the next one wonders whether the analysis was an exercise in using a cannon to open an unlocked door. Bitch, what the fuck? I'll use a cannon to open your unlocked ass. Not constructive. The work is only a maths game. Yeah, okay. Okay, boomer. Non constructive. Overall, I think this manuscript is a waste of time. Very well then, congratulations. You just wasted your time. Non constructive. Say something better, reviewer. Now, the next one. Moreover, it is very difficult to see the actual contribution this manuscript will have. Okay, yeah, I can understand that the paper lacks contribution. That's a valid review, but is it constructive or not constructive? I'm not sure. Let's leave it blank. The abstract is intriguing but confusing. Indeed, very constructive. We will do better to not make it confusing. Now, the next. I guess this proposal could be interesting. If you're interested in this obscure set of biology, yes, yes, it's nice. It's not criticism, so I can't really judge it. I mean, often, like, constructive and non constructive are used for classifying criticisms, things by which, I mean, advices by which we can make something better. But compliments can't really be unconstructive or constructive. Compliments are different things, so this was a compliment. So thank you, but I don't know how to classify it. And that's the point with things. Some reviews in classification of reviews, some reviews are very easy to classify as constructive or not constructive, like they are definite, they are perfectly binary. For example, a review like this: overall, I think this manuscript is a waste of time. This is a perfectly non constructive review because the reviewer can suck my ass or shoot a cannon through his open ass, but it's not a constructive criticism. It isn't helping the poor PhD student who went through such difficulty to write a paper. It's just sprinkling salt on the difficult work, on the hard work. So, I haven't written a research paper yet, but still, reading things like this makes me burn, seethe in rage. If I ever got a reviewer like this who provides unconstructive criticism like this, I'd I'd shoot a cannon through their open door. I would. So basically, yeah, what I was saying was some criticisms are really easy to classify. They are binary. They are either non-constructive, such as this, the waste of time one, or constructive, such as this, the abstract is intriguing but confusing, or maybe another one is the author's, yeah, the data did not support important implications, or maybe something like, like, let me find it. Wait, yeah, cite newer relevant references, especially these published in 2012 or 2008. Like, these are constructive indeed. These are very helpful. These are blessings to the PhD student who can read them and feel relieved. Like, thank God, it's not a review about shooting cannons through open doors. It's a review about how I can improve my paper, how I can work better, how I can perform better. Thank you, dear reviewer. You are really holy. Thank you for pointing out my mistakes and showing me how I can improve. Like, yeah, so criticisms, some are easy to classify and are binary. Oh god, this is my third time. Yeah. So moving on next, my next continuation of this point is that criticisms, some are binary and very easy to classify. And it is criticisms like these that machine learning algorithms can really use and classify things, detect the pattern among these binary criticisms, constructive or non-constructive, perfectly divided line, and easily find the pattern between the constructive ones and pattern between the non-constructive ones, and find a basic relation to classify further inputs into constructive or non-constructive. But however advanced machine learning gets, you know sentences are not always constructive or non-constructive in a solid definite manner, because there are many sentences which are in between. There are layers, not binary. That's what makes humans different. That's what makes humans, I believe, more advanced than machines, however advanced machines get. Even if machine learning, AI, and deep learning advances to really, really advanced level, but still, yeah, even if they perform better than humans in identifying things, which I still can't really understand because I've read articles that AI performs better than humans in identification problems. I can't imagine how a human would fail to identify a horse and recognize it as a carrot instead. But yeah, but things like these are where layer comes in. Like, things are not binary, things are not constructive or non-constructive. There are different layers, like there are different levels of how constructive something is or how non-constructive something is, and it depends upon the person. Each person has different, you know, feeling of how constructive something can be. Like for example, like for example, you can let me give me a second. Hmm. Hmm. Like for example, just suppose this book has more mistakes than a hound has fleas. Oof, that was a burn, but bad burn. Reviewers suck. Reviews should make constructive things. So yeah, this sentence itself is a perfect example of how a human, not a machine, would classify things as constructive or non-constructive. Because if it were a machine, it would, if it were a machine, it would certainly classify it as non-constructive because this isn't really providing any point. Like, hmm, let me use a better example instead. Please wait another few seconds. Uh, yeah, yeah, okay. This example is like simply conducting the same analysis in different dataset does not equate novelty or impact to the field. It's it's a confusing sentence. Is it constructive or is it not constructive? Because it really highlights the problems. It depends on the person, how a person identifies it. Since, like, if it were, you know, if it were an angry, impatient PhD researcher, to him, it or her or them, yeah, I'll them use them. 2022, my dear friends. Anyways, to them, it would be no, non-constructive because they aren't really, you know, saying how they can improve. Like simply conducting the same analysis in a different data set does not equate novelty or impact to the field. And the PhD researcher would say to the reviewer, "Fuck you. How can I improve my paper then? How can I add novelty to the field? How can I impact the field? You aren't saying that. You are just saying what I am doing won't be a novel contribution, and that's just bullshit. How can I improve? You are not saying it. So yeah, if it were a impatient research scholar, to them it would be non-constructive. But if it were a nice, patient research scholar who is peaceful and not really the fighting type, a word for it would be optimistic. No, pacifist and optimistic, yeah, both. Then they would read the review. They would wait 2 minutes and think. Simply conducting the same analysis in different dataset does not equate novelty or impact to the field. And then they would read, conducting same analysis in different datasets. And then they would think like they must perform something different then. That is a constructive thing. They perform the same analysis on different datasets. So they shouldn't do it. They should do something better and something more novel, something more impactful to the field. So to them, it is indeed constructive. So yeah, that's so now this same review, which our previous research scholar, PhD student, was too impatient and who just who would just punch the reviewer for this review. The same review now has a constructive point, something better. We should try something different instead of conducting same analysis on different data sets. So it is a constructive review then. So yeah, machines wouldn't be able to identify this. Machines work on binary. Machines only detect patterns between N or C, non-constructive or constructive. They won't really be able to tell how much of it is constructive, how much of it is non-constructive. There are no layers between machines. There are hmm, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it all depends on the context. It all has everything has layers. Nothing is perfectly dual. There is no yes and no. There is a maybe in between always in case of humans. So that's what makes humans different, unique. However, however advanced technology gets, it won't be able to replicate nature. Nature is always powerful. Robots won't replace nature. Okay, now let's get to the good part. Just kidding. Now on to the next review. Where was I? Oh yeah, waste of time. Moreover, difficult to see actual contribution manuscript will have. Yeah, the abstract is interesting but confusing. Done. The proposal, yeah, biology done. hmm Yeah, okay. The next review is very funny. Okay. Ah, the dinner was nice. I don't understand thermodynamics. Thank you, dear reviewer. What a great coincidence. Even I don't understand thermodynamics. Why are you reviewing this paper then if you don't understand thermodynamics? Why? Congratulations, dear reviewer. You should be awarded. Very non constructive, but very cute though. Hmm. A great detail of effort has been expended here, but to what end? Indeed, you should write an English novel, dear reviewer. Very non constructive. Now, the next review. The paper is desperate. Please reject it completely and block the author's email ID so they can't use the online system in the future. Whoa, 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 whoa there, dude. Chill down, chill down. It's like, I will find you, I will kill you, and I will, that meme. Okay, okay. Uh, Give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Let me find that meme. Let me find that meme. Uh, yeah, it was. Yeah. Found it. This review. Okay, the review. Please reject it completely and then block the author's email ID so that they can't use the online system in the future. Same vibes as I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But if you ruin the. Okay, never mind. Yeah, but I can't really find the original meme. Original. It's ironic how I am saying technology can't ever replace humans, but yet I am finding memes in Google. I can't find the original meme. I can't find the original meme of this one. Okay, never mind. Let me just see the memed version of this meme. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But if to ruin the finale of Dexter for me, I will find you and I will kill you. So yeah, basically same vibes. Chill down, reviewer. Okay, now the next review. Wasting 1 minute on a meme. Discussion section of the paper is neither informative nor enlightening and is clearly theoretically questionably. Yeah, that's the review. It should have been questionable. Clearly, theoretically questionable. But yeah, it's constructive. Indeed. Thank you. This one was funny. The word assess should be read as assess. I don't really know what to say. Is it constructive? I mean, it is constructive. It is pointing out that the typo in the paper assess should be instead read as assess. Yeah, assess. Very constructive. I mean, thank you, reviewer. Now, next, cite newer relevant references, especially those published by X 2012 and X 2008. Uh, Biryani. Okay, but yeah, this is constructive. Intermediary steps and the apologetics for the topic is derived from a historical cult and its author. Okay, very non-constructive. The team is very experienced. The paper felt a bit less self-referential than they often are. This is a compliment. The first part, the paper felt a less self-referential than they often are. So yeah, is this constructive? I think it is like it is saying that the paper felt less self-referential. So if they made the paper more self-referential, the paper would have been better. So constructive, I think. See, this is where the duality, non-duality of human nature comes in. There are different levels. It depends only on how, in which level I prefer to see. Okay, the next. Sorry for our long silence. Due to some perplexity on our side at reading your manuscripts. Okay, yeah, thank you. Nice. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, very non-constructive. Oh, no. I recommend the publication even if I am not impressed. Nobody asked for your opinion, dear reviewer. Fuck you. If the author is, yeah, non-constructive. If the author is comfortable having his or her name on this paper, then I won't stand in the way of its publication. Wow, this exactly sounds like अगर तुम शादी करना चाहते हो तो मैं तुम्हें नहीं रोकूंगा जा सिमरन जी ले अपनी जिंदगी तुझे देखा तो मैं जाना सनम प्यार होता है दीवाना सनम. It sounds exactly like that. I won't stand in the way of his publication. La 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 la. Okay, non-constructive. I am impatient with this vague assertion. So am I with your review. Non-constructive. The length of this review is occasioned by the density of error and misconceived arguments in this manuscript as a service primarily to the authors, and I have decided to actually try to convey a sense of extreme nature of the problems encumbering the submission. Wow, that was a mouthful. But yeah, the first part does feel uh, nice, constructive. Like the review is occasioned by density of error. In layman's terms, the paper has many errors. So indeed, constructive. Fix the errors, I guess. Unfortunately, I cannot recommend this paper for publication because its contents violate the law of physics. Wow, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Who wrote the paper and who wrote the review? How violating the laws of physics? Indeed, this this is the research that will drive humanity forward. Hopes of humanity lies on papers like this. Good job, researcher. Good job, PhD student. Keep violating the laws of physics. GG. But I'm really confused what to rate it. Is it constructive? I can't recommend this paper for publication because it violates the laws of physics. So the problem with this paper is that it violates the laws of physics. But that's research, isn't it? Research is studying more about something so that you can violate it. I don't know. I'll leave it blank for now. This doesn't sound really constructive but doesn't sound non-constructive either. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay. Next. Next. Yes, next. The authors are permitted to believe what they want to, but the data did not support important implications. This is constructive. Yes, the data did not support important implications. That's nice. Thank you. The authors will now make sure the data supports important implications, or otherwise insert gun reloading noises. Anyways, next. However, the applicant seems to have run out of steam before he developed a detailed plan of the proposed research and then completed the proposal. This is unfortunate. Damn, researcher, you okay, bro? You ran out of steam. It do be like that sometimes. This is unfortunate. I'm confused. I don't know how to grade it. We'll look at it later. This book has more mistakes than a hound has fleas. Fuck you. And your review. You have more fleas than the hound, you know. Very non-constructive. Reviewers these days, SMH. I did not attempt to understand figure 2 because there was no motivation given for it. Good job, reviewer. And your review is also constructive because, yeah, figure 2 has no motivation given for it. So that's a nice criticism. It looks to be more of a chance for the authors to promote a product using poorly constructed non-replicable pivot study. Yes, this is also nice. Authors are trying to, I mean, damn, what the fuck? Okay, so, hmm, the authors are. Give me a timeout. Give me a minute. Hello there, I am back with reviews. Okay, the I did not attempt figure two. Yeah, this is done. Constructive. It looks more of a chance authors to promote product using poorly constructed non-replicable pilot study. Okay, this is constructive. Studies poorly constructed and non-replicable. Indeed, constructive. In order to be able to publish this manuscript, I need it needs to be written in the form of scientific article. This sounds constructive as well. Like the manuscript doesn't really sound scientific, so that's nice. I mean, that's not nice, of course. It needs to be scientific, but the review is nice. Like nice review, kind, polite review, not about shooting cannons through open doors or counting hounds in fleas. I mean, fleas and hounds. Okay. Through a streamlining of the argument, meaningful references to existing literature, and a restriction to the essentials, the manuscript may still be saved. Yeah, the manuscript may still be saved. It is constructive. Save the manuscript. Research is nice. He shall guide, I mean, they shall guide us towards saving the manuscript by streamlining the argument and making meaningful reference and blah blah blah. Constructive, constructive. Indeed, the sentence is so hard to digest, it gave me reflux. I hope you die of food poisoning though. Non constructive. I also think that the English of the manuscript need further polishing, and your English also needs further polishing, dear reviewer, but indeed constructive. Dear PhD student, write better English. Several books that are cited, but there is no evidence that they have ever been studied or understood. Yeah, this is constructive, I guess. The cited references are not explained properly. Constructive, I guess. I don't know. I'm confused. Let's leave it blank. It is difficult from the reviewer's perspective to even call these studies. It is difficult from my perspective to even call this a review. A constructive review. Reviewers should really write constructive reviews only. Personal opinions aren't required in studies like this. The take home message has to be extracted with significant labor punishing from a punishing set of figures with multiple bar graphs. Constructive indeed. Reduce the bar graphs, dear PhD student. They are very punishing. Constructive. Suggesting much but saying nothing of import, the sort of balderdash that is in the vernacular often compared to the waist of certain male ruminants. Damn. Okay, I'm being called. Pause, I guess, pause. Oh there, namaste, sasyakal. I hope that was what it was, but we are back with reviews. Shit, my reviewers say.com. Okay, the next review suggesting suggesting much but saying nothing of import. So the sort of balderdash that is in the vernacular often compared to waste of certain mule remnants. Oof, what the fuck? I'm confused. Like, it does say that there's nothing much of importance but too many useless details, but I'm really offended by the mule part. Okay, next. And this is blank. To be debated. Next. What then is the point of this manuscript, which presents no truly new data, methods, conclusions, or arguments? I would venture that it has no raison d'etre and is neither novel nor helpful. The reviewer reads Shakespeare indeed. It is constructive. It is no new data, methods, conclusions, arguments. It has no reason d'etre. D'etre, whatever. French. French. It's always French. Yeah. This may eventually be a cited paper. Thank you. I'm confused. This is not really constructive, but a compliment. Hmm. Ugh. Read a book. This is grossly oversimplified and not an appropriate statement for a scientific journal. Uh, uh, I'm confused, but I feel this is constructive even though the language is a bit rough for a reviewer. The only constructive part among this read book is that this is grossly oversimplified and not appropriate statement for a scientific journal. Yeah, that is constructive. Like researcher can make things complex but funny. That is ironic. The goal of research is to spread science and the knowledge of science and the love of science. So it should be simple, explaining complicated things in a simple manner. But oh well. Next one. This is constructive though. Yeah, next one. I would have prete- I would have preferred to read a meta-analysis. So I don't know. I'm confused. There is no meta-analysis in this one, so maybe they would have preferred to read a meta-analysis. This article describes XY, a research project investigation methods of educational game design. The paper is poorly written. Yeah, the criticism is paper is poorly written. Very constructive. I guess like the paper is poorly written. That could improve. Write the paper better. Is that a constructive criticism? I guess. Let's hope. Even if other readers found it comprehensible, there is not even a proposed path to make this model into a modeling system. Constructive, I guess. It says that there is not a proposed path. They said these are the type of sentences that makes things complicated because you cannot determine if it's constructive or not constructive because it just says there's not a proposed path to make this into a modeling system. So it just complains. But is a complaint constructive? It does not say how it can make the paper better. It just complains that the paper is bad in this part. So let's just take it as a constructive criticism, I guess. There's not a proposed path to make this method into a modeling system. So maybe we can just assume this to be constructive. Let us be optimistic and take this as a guide to go forward and make a path and propose a better path that could make this model into a modeling system. Yes, the paper was so boring I fell asleep halfway through. Oh man, this reviewer is just like me. We are the same, bro. I'm not sure. The paper was so boring was the main thing in this paper, and that's not constructive. That's not constructive. It's even if it's a complaint, but this is not a constructive complaint. The paper was so boring. It can do better. Like previous complaint was still a better complaint because it complains about some specific thing, not the entire paper in general. So not constructive. The system described in the manuscript is inherently confusing. Despite rereading its basic elements did not make sense. Yes, this is indeed constructive. The paper, the manuscript is confusing. The basic elements do not make sense. Improve the basic elements, oh researcher, my researcher. And then the next review. High was my expectation, and so much deeper was my disappointment. The reviewer should have not been a reviewer. The reviewer should have been a poet. Very non constructive, dear poet. Please write poems instead of reviews. That would have been more constructive in your case. To my mind, the question is similar to the medieval debate concerning angels dancing on pinheads. I do not think the paper should be published. Okay, boomer. Your opinion does not matter. Not constructive. The paper is written. That's a review, yeah. That's a review. The paper is written. I'm not sure what to make of this, but of course the paper would have to be written, indeed. The paper. What inference must a human make of this review? The paper is written. What inference can any organism, no, any being with a self conscious thought, intelligent being can make of this? The paper is written. Full stop. Four words. So, these are the inferences that I can find from this review. This paper is written. Yeah, so these are the inference. This paper, inference one, there is a paper and it exists, is written. So, inference two, the paper that exists is written, and the opposite of written is the I don't know what they call it, but event, and then e dash is the not event. Uh, like not event. So this basically this paper is not written. So what does not written comprise of? Typed, scribbled, I don't know, carved out on a stone inside 5000 BC Egypt civilization. So basically, yeah, the paper is written, not typed, not carved into stone. So I know I'm wasting my point beating around the bush, beating in the bush, beating on the bush, beating not the bush, but something else. But this is not constructive, unfortunately. Small, cute review though. This paper is written very best review of the year award. Next review. Your research paper is not motivated. There is no motivation behind your algorithm. Your research, your results lack motivation. This is constructive, indeed. Constructive. Now, next. In other words, the referee thinks this work is stuck in the past. The referee would rather talk about the future. The some of the senior co-authors were the future ones. I feel sad for this referee. This old referee is living in nostalgia. Ah, but non-constructive. The results is not great. Bracket boring. Constructive. It talks about the results section, so yeah, nice. Better than the entire paper being boring. This is constructive. This paper, no, so this made the paper very long and may bore the reader. Not constructive. No, constructive. The paper is long, so paper should be short, I think. I'm just confused. I'll keep this constructive paper. That study is the study is largely descriptive in nature and mostly a fishing expedition. It will be great if they catch some interesting or unexpected fish. Largely descriptive is constructive. The fishing part is not constructive, but overall significance is whether it is constructive or not, but so it has a constructive thing, so let it be constructive. The manuscript is a collection of fragmented and disconnected descriptive observations. Constructive, indeed, talks about the paper, does not bullshit around. So, constructive. This is clearly a submission that needs to be shredded, burned, and the ashes buried in multiple locations. Damn, bro, who hurt you this way? Totally not constructive. What the fuck? Shredded, burned, and ashes buried in multiple locations. Man, you committing homicide. I think the audience will eat him alive, but I want to be there to hear it. Ow, I bit my lip. The fact that there are reviewers like this is what makes living worth it. Indeed. And this is 46 minutes of me speaking about random things which you wouldn't even understand, but basically, let me explain again. I have been given an entire Excel sheet of, list of criticisms, list of reviews or comments, you can say, by reviewers on research papers from a website named shitmyreviewerssay.tumblr.com. So yeah, I have been provided a dataset of comments on research papers, and my job is to classify the comments as constructive, labeled with a C, or non-constructive, labeled with an N. And here I am with 47 minutes of completely speaking, and it really amazes me how I do not talk at all in real life, and yet here I am, here I am talking constantly for 47 minutes. Okay, so let me go on. The current manuscript is descriptive and I do not recommend its publication. Is it constructive? Yeah, descriptive. So, oh, sorry. The current manuscript is deceptive. Deceptive. Not constructive. How is it deceptive? You are not mentioning it. You are just giving false allegations. Not constructive. Very bad behavior. Reviewer. My mouth hurts of speaking so much. There is an over-reliance on sophisticated statistics at the expense of good old-fashioned scientific thought. Constructive, I guess. Over-reliance on statistics instead of scientific thoughts. Constructive indeed. The title is the closest I have seen to manuscript clickbait. Damn, what the fuck? This is not constructive. I'm not sure. Like, the title needs to be improved, but they say it in such a way that it sounds sassy, but and not really constructive, because it does not sound helpful. It sounds like reviewer is trying to act cool, but the job of the reviewer is not to act cool, but just review the paper like normal human being. Like, just say if it's good or bad, and if it's bad, then how can it be improved, and if it's good, then which part are good, so that just sharing knowledge. There's no there's not really a need to be sassy over here, because someone's life's work depends on it. But well, some people don't understand. People exist, different specimen exist. Anyways, next, moving on. This manuscript uses half of the available pages and fails to explain what has been done, how and why. Very constructive, yes, perfect. constructive criticism over here, my dear boys and girls. Yeah, I would urge the authors to improve the language description to make the manuscript much clearer and logic. Professional language experts recommend to use. So yeah, improve the language description constructive. Indeed, yeah. This section gives the impression that you throw a handful of dots at the target and see what you happen to hit. What the fuck, non-constructive, bitch? It seems that you are torturing the data until the model converges. Wow. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Damn. It seems you are torturing the data. I have never tortured data, but I would love to see one. But unfortunately, this is not constructive. However, I would have liked to make it constructive because you can understand that the model is not converging using the following data. So it depends. Like that's where human mind comes in. It's miraculous. Machines won't be able to twist a sentence into this. Like from this review, it seems that you are torturing the data until the model converges. A machine won't be able to understand like what the sentence actually means, but I do. I am a human and I can understand like it's saying that in simple terms, like in the purest terms, which is neither positive nor negative, and no personal opinion or sassy words, in pure plain neutral unbiased layman terms. It's just saying that the given data is not really making the model converge. You know, the model is not converging with the given data. So, in short, which means the data needs to be made better, I guess, or the model needs to be made better. Adjusting the hyperparameters and stuff, machine learning stuff, which I do not know of. So basically, yeah, things need to be made better, but the researcher is just trying in vain to you know make things fit without really changing anything. Work needs to be done from both ends to make things work. So yeah, but that's the point. Machines won't be able to predict what I just said. So it depends. Like this is also gray area whether this review, it seems you're torturing the data, is constructive or not. Is it or is it not? How should I look at it as a human, as an optimistic pacifist human who tries to find constructive criticism in everything, or as a machine who will just you know slightly glance over the data and just pick out the necessary words and determine if it's constructive or not. What am I? Who am I? And what will I do? Damn, that sounds crazy, but let's just leave it blank. Things like this is really giving me existential crisis. Now the next. Okay, so my goal is 70 and I have almost reached 70 in just four, no, five more reviews left, and after that, this podcast. Let's call it a podcast. So this podcast will end. I'm not sure why I am exactly recording this because this is very stupid and this has no point and this is too random to I mean I'm not a really an internet person. I do not upload podcasts or stuff or make videos and things. In my YouTube channel, the only video I have posted is of Roomba bot running. Yeah, it's a cute little robot which I made running through a maze, a simulated maze. So that's the only video I posted in my YouTube. So, but you know, this felt interesting. I thought I could record it because yeah, this was nice. I like reviewing things. So what? Hello there. So where was I? About the future of this video and the purpose. I mean, audio and the purpose of recording it. So as I was saying, I'm not really an open person. I don't talk too much in real life in with other humans. That's very antisocial. But yeah, in short, also, and I haven't really exposed myself much. I don't really like showing off or even the bare minimum of displaying my skills to others to just make a presence. I really haven't ever done that. But this was interesting. Machine learning is really interesting and it's really deep, as in the the simple fact that we have progressed so much that we can make build machines to do work that we would do, and yeah, even complicated things like I can't really explain it, but yeah, machine learning is really interesting, and many a times it often gives me existential crisis to think about it. Machines are becoming more human. It's really scary, like and machine learning is really interesting to me, especially because many a times I do think like a machine, like my thought processes can be broken down into simpler things. Like I find it easy to break down my thought processes into simpler things. So yeah, machine learning is interesting, and and the purpose of me making this audio, 1 hour long audio of me constantly talking with a few breaks, of course, since my parents are just breaking in, and that would be awkward. I don't really do this, and anything I do is really not known to them. So in short, I am making this audio because just to preserve it, just to preserve my love for machine learning, I guess, and record it, and yeah, I just want to record my interest in machine learning and how fun it is and amusing. Like this was amusing. It's really difficult to classify things as binary, constructive or non-constructive. Some sentences are really easy, some reviews are really easy, of course, but others are not. It's difficult because they lie in between, and that's what makes us human. Yeah. Anyways, if I ever upload this to YouTube, which I think I would not, but yet I also am tempted to upload this, but I don't know how to upload a simple audio to YouTube because YouTube is just for videos. So, oh well. Anyways, if I upload this to YouTube, then thank you for listening to this useless audio for 1 whole hour. And I really, really hope no one ever finds this audio. No one, because it's cringe and I don't really have an accent and I can't speak English really well and I just stutter and stammer and just pause at times like break, get discontinued. I cannot explain with a constant flow. It's just really haphazard and chaotic. So now, no, 1 hour is almost over. It's 1 hour 25, 26, 27 seconds. Fuck. So let me just continue. Also, I hope nobody really finds this video. I It would be a bit embarrassing. Yeah, so let me continue. It seems like you are torturing. Oh, this is done. This is blank. A very deep review. Now the next. The chapter is too scholarly and too casual. Okay. This is also confusing. I'm confused. What the fuck? After having cited an author, one could call this name dropping. What? 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 Are these even reviews? Okay, the next one. This was non-constructive. What the? What is the reviewer trying to say? After citing an author, one could call this name dropping. Is the reviewer trying to make a meme, but in text format? Anyways, next one. Unfortunately, I was hoping for more. Your hopes were broken, unfortunately. Non-constructive. What more were you hoping? If you had only specified, then it would have been a constructive review, but since you didn't, it's not a constructive review. Okay, now we are at 69. Nice. Lots of hand weaving in this discussion. I I had high hopes for review number 69, but 69 really disappointed me. Oh well, no, no, not constructive. Now this is the last review and 1 hour 35 seconds, no, 1 hour 2 minutes 37 seconds, and here we go, our last review. In the experimental part, there is a lack of scientific by taking over results from reference literature. The review is in fact incomplete, but it sounds constructive because there is a lack of scientific something, but the review is incomplete. So the the review is incomplete, but it is a constructive review. And so we have finished our 70 reviews so far. With let me count how many blank reviews, which means it some reviews that give me existential crisis, so I cannot classify them. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, so there are 13 reviews out of the 70 which are really difficult to classify and give me existential crisis. Okay, so if you actually have listened this far, then either you are a robot who's trying to track me and stalk me and I don't know, extract data out of me, because machine learning has actually advanced so far that people could actually theoretically make bots that can, you know, take in audio inputs from YouTube videos, if I ever publish this on YouTube though. And yeah, like if you make something audio to text, then that text becomes easily processable data. And Through that text, you can understand a person's behavior, method of speaking, and you know, decode a person. It's really scary, like, yeah, it is really scary because technology has advanced so far that we can actually break down even the complicated patterns of nature and and predict the next states of things before time, predict a person. It's scary. Technology has advanced so far, machine learning, deep learning, AI, pattern detection, that even nature's most complicated pattern is solved to a enough fairly high enough accurate degree. No one is truly unique now, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Identity. I see. I'm just confused and I don't know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is, it's just scary. No one's identity is preserved now, really. Nobody's identity is really actually preserved or hidden. On the internet, there is someone, or there are many ones who know about you, your identity, your behavior, your pattern, and they can predict you. And if they want, they can turn against you. Identity is not a safe thing anymore. Yeah, internet is not a safe place, I guess. There are safe things, but there are scary things too lurking deep underneath the internet. So yeah, if you have actually listened to the whole thing so far, then you must be a bot or a useless person with nothing else to do. And I hope it's the latter one. Please don't stalk me. Please don't steal my identity. Yeah, I'm yeah, I'm just a bundle of existential crisis. It will be of no use. Mm, Identities are stolen of greater people, not really of nobody like me. Oh well, that's too depressing. Anyway, I mean, that's too sad. Depressing is not the right term to use for sad things, but enough with the drama. So, thank you for listening. Farewell, bonjour, and no, bonjour, no, 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 no. Auf Wiedersehen. Oui, oui, baguette. Hon, hon, hon. Goodbye.